Welcome to Guns, Guns, Gear, and Guns with Gary Gunderson. I am Gary Gunderson. The Senate voted against the bill that would have overturned the ATF's rule that reclassified braced pistols as short-barreled rifles. And the senators from Connecticut had a no-holds-barred contest on which one is stupider when it comes to firearms.
Versus
that would make legal a new class of semi-automatic rifles that has been banned for 100 years because they're too dangerous.
This is an odd statement, not only because they are not banned, but because he even says later that they aren't banned.
You can have one, but you have to go through that process.
So I don't know why he says this, except maybe for a campaign clip, even though it's an obvious lie.
They can convert pistols into short-barreled rifles, and they do it by providing stability. A brace attaches a pistol to a shooter's arm, stabilizing the gun and allowing it to be fired from the shoulder.
I mean, the problem isn't that they are using the brace part and then scrunching up real tight with their arm to shoulder it. The ATF objects because they claim it's too much like a stock when shouldered and not using the brace part at all.
So the answer to the mass shooting crisis in this country is more assault rifles, more dangerous weapons, taking a class of weapons that has been illegal for a century and putting them on the open market.
No one said, hey, this is an answer to mass shootings. They said, hey, maybe this is an answer to the overreach by the executive branch, that if the bureaucracy can redefine what is written in the law as they please, then they can do anything, which is kind of a problem.
That requires registration of pistol braces. Perhaps seemingly a small matter to the vast majority of Americans.
It really should not matter if most Americans are aware of this or if it's a big matter. That does not mean you can just violate the Constitution and do whatever you want. I'm sure a lot of people have cared very little about their rights. That does not give you permission to trample them.
They are more transportable and concealable than long rifles.
It's always funny to me that this is such an important concern for them and talking point. Mass shooters have walked into locations with their rifles in full view plenty of times. It's pretty well hidden, at least on the way there in a car. Maybe if all mass shooters used bicycles, it would matter. But even then, haven't you ever heard of folding stocks?
What was so apparent in Hartford when the president spoke to us there was the energy and spirit reflecting America's support for these kinds of common sense gun violence prevention measures.
Wow, you're saying that at an anti-gun rally with speakers making speeches against guns, there was support for gun control? I am shocked. This guy, if he wound up at a furry convention, he would be convinced most Americans are furries and would join the party.
And at the same time, there's nothing in this rule to prevent a disabled veteran who wants to equip a pistol with a true stabilizing brace that is not designed to fire the weapon from the shoulder from doing exactly that.
He is creating a distinction this rule does not. There exists no true stabilizing brace within the rule that would not be regulated as a short-barreled rifle. He is trying to make the rule appear reasonable by implying something that is not true.
Either we allow shooters to turn pistols into powerful, accurate, easily hidden rifles with total impunity, or we have the courage to protect our community.
What a stupid statement. I mean, if it's a shooter, an additional gun charge is irrelevant to the other murders that were committed. It's not giving them impunity if braces aren't regulated.
Now, to be clear, it has always been illegal for 100 years to modify a large format pistol by adding a stock or a brace for the purpose of firing it from the shoulder. But manufacturers capitalized on widespread ignorance of the law.
No. That's a blatant lie. Braces were said to be okay by the ATF, and then after that, there was even another letter declaring it was okay to fire the braces from the shoulder because even they said they cannot dictate use. The ATF's rule says that they were always SBRs, and they are only now enforcing them. But that is not what they said prior, so it's not enforcing what has always been true. ATF said it was okay, people bought them. Braces were also never previously mentioned in the NFA regulations.
Or continue to enable those pistols to be more lethal, more deadly, and more intolerable.
Intolerable? What do you even mean by that?
To own a short-barreled rifle in this country, you have to pay a $200 for a tax stamp. You have to undergo a background check. You have to register that firearm with the ATF. Allows for responsible, law-abiding citizens to acquire these dangerous weapons while keeping them out of the hands of criminals or people who want to commit crimes with them.
How though? Because a criminal can't pay $200 and wait for the tax stamp? A lot of shooters have no prior records, which is how they are able to legally procure firearms anyway. It's also easy to make an illegal short-barreled rifle if that's what they really wanted to do.
We don't need pistol braces for legitimate uses of guns.
I don't need a legitimate purpose to use a pistol brace. You need a legitimate reason to deny me the use of a pistol brace, and I have not heard one.
What, is this a communist country or something? I thought this is America.
You can't take a pistol and use one of these braces to fire from your shoulder.
Well, if it's an AR pistol, you can still shoulder the buffer tube and shoot it because that's not a brace. Not as comfy, but still doable. You can also use the push sling method to get more stability on other models of pistols, so there's that too. Careful though, they will regulate slings on pistols next. And as a palate cleanser, a Republican speaking in favor of the bill.
In many states, you can't own a bazooka. That's a reasonable restriction.
I respectfully disagree. So, which senator was worse on gun issues in this debate? Let me know in the comments below. If you know of other videos of speeches or debates on gun control you want me to take a look at, please post the links in the comments. I don't always see these right away, or I may miss them completely. I can always take the time to slowly die inside watching the madness. But you can support this channel by supporting me on Patreon, joining the public Discord, liking the video, sharing the video, and of course, subscribing to the channel for more content. Thanks for watching.